Well, this week I'm cranky. I'm trying to say that with a straight face, but I'm sincerely actually really quite off. Please excuse the French. I received an email from a friend last week just telling me a little bit about it, and you probably have heard since a little bit on the AVC with regards to genetically modified canola, which was only allowed to be grown commercially in this country last year. They've just started growing it. The first harvest is coming in, and basically GrainCorp have decided not to segregate the genetically modified canola from the conventional canola, limiting the choice, which obviously is an absolute disaster. What they are offering is the option for those who want to keep their canola stored separately from genetically modified canola. There is an option, however, that farmer, producer will have to pay the cost. There's an additional charge for those who want to keep their harvest away from genetically modified. Essentially, it's muddying the waters, and really now farmers who really care about keeping their non-GM crop separate from the genetically modified crop are going to be inconvenienced in terms of cost, and of course we as the end consumers, that cost will be passed on down the line, therefore making non-GM a more expensive option than the genetically modified. I'm absolutely certain that this was probably the agenda all the way along from the GM companies and the powers that be. Really, I believe the onus is on the GM companies. It's very much an unproven technology in terms of, certainly the benefits to the environment and the benefits to health. I would say they're very, very questionable. And really the onus should be upon them to keep that separate, so we as consumers have a choice, and a fair income choice, in not consuming GM. Of course, your best option, of course, is to go organic. Because of course organic food, you cannot have a certified organic product that's been genetically modified, so guaranteed to be avoiding modified genes. Now, something that makes me very happy, that previous issue makes me quite sad because I fear for the future of our kids. Something that makes me very happy though, our preferred grower, best grower in Australia, they've started. These are the Fuji apples from them. Now I received a little bit of correspondence from some of you regarding the Pink Lady Red Fuji debate. To me, you try some of these this week and there will be no debate. These are the best apple in the world. They're sweet, they're crunchy, they're juicy. They've got the lot. So we do have some of those Pink Ladies. They are actually eating very, very well. The Galas, also from our preferred grower, are absolutely superb, crunchy and sweet. Plenty of good Granny Smiths, plenty of good Johnnies. Golden Delicious are also outstanding, again from our preferred grower.
I love the shop. I think it's great. I love the colours, I love the openness, the space, the displays, everything is just terrific.
No cash for comment here.
Just an apple.
Now, it's starting to get a little bit lean in terms of fruit selection, but the other fruit item that's outstanding, well, there are a couple. The grapes are brilliant, crimson seedless. They'll probably run for a few more weeks. They're super sweet, crunchy, juicy, very, very good. The pears, also outstanding. The mandarins are very, very good. Price is still high and will be for a little while. But kiwi fruit, very early in the season. These need a little bit of time just to soften a little bit, coming down from combine, so they're nice and local. Smaller sizes, and we also have larger pieces as well. You'll notice that on the website when you're ordering. Avocados, we've got this size and larger. These are the Fertes. Now these are basically the variety which they don't really change colour in the skin. The Hass darken up when they're ripe. These will stay fairly green, but they get very soft when they're right to go, and you can eat them when they're really quite soft. Hass, once they get really soft, they're overripe. Probably the best avocado, I think, the Ferte, nice and creamy. Now, olives. Fresh biodynamic olives straight off the tree. What we've done for you to make it easy is we've put them in a jar, and attached to that jar is a recipe on how to cure. You can get the green olives, which are the less ripe version. There's the ripe version. Don't do what Chris B. I was talking to him earlier. He's in the shop. He's one of our home delivery customers. He was in the shop last week with his dad. His dad picked one of these out of a basket and said to his son that it's probably the worst olive he's ever had. Chris had a little bit of a chuckle and said, "Dad, they're fresh off the tree. You've got to cure them first." So yeah, don't eat them until you've cured them. It seems to be getting cold very quick, but there's plenty of winter greens around. Lots of nice, warm, fiery rocket. Got a little bit of end of season basil. Some nice parsleys. Celeries are beautiful. There's little leeks, bok choy, shallots, new cabbages, nice red cabbages, got firm hearts. Some lovely fragrant coriander. Smaller bunches, they're growing a bit slower with the cooler weather. Pumpkin, time to start thinking about some pumpkin soups. Plenty of Jap, very well priced, and look at the colour. They're nice and ripe. Other exciting vegetables, the carrots, lovely and sweet. The beans are outstanding. Best time of year for red capsicum, as of course it's the ripe version of the green. Summer is their growing season, so we're getting towards the end of the season, so there's quite a bit of red cap around. Of course, if you're souping, roasting, Swedes have started. I'm relatively new to Swedes, but I loved cubing those and baking them. Fresh turmeric.
Hello, I'm a turmeric. Please don't eat me.
I'm not much of an expert in terms of using turmeric, but Louise tells me she grates it into curries, soups. Nice bit of colour. My favourite vegetables have started. Brussels sprouts. I love them. They're so good. Now, I know I went off on a little bit of a rant there earlier. I've got another little rant. Tim Boone. I first became aware of Tim Boone, 10 or 11 years ago. It was a small family-owned concern which got gobbled up by a larger corporation. I think it might have been Paul's at the time, which in turn got gobbled up by another corporation, National Foods. Anyway, we found out last week we can't order this anymore because the organic farming side of things, the organic cheese side of their business, is apparently less profitable than other elements of their business. So they've decided for that reason, at least this is what we were told, to shut it down. So, a tremendous little place down there on the Great Ocean Road. I don't know if you've ever visited. I was lucky enough to go there 4 or 5 years ago. It's a beautiful little place. And one of the pioneers of organic cheese making in Australia. Really a role model. Can't remember the chap's name, but I know he's done a lot of talking. He's been up around this way. He was, very successful, I guess, with the deregulation of dairy and the price of milk to the farmer being reduced. Again, there's market forces conglomerate. There's less players in the buying side of the market. Prices usually end up going down to the producer. So he managed to find a way through that and created a niche in terms of farming organically and then producing and evaluating his cheese and therefore getting a good price for his milk and obviously producing a very good business, a business that thrived so well. A big corporation wanted to have an organic badge in their range, swallowed it up, decided that it wasn't making enough money and shut it down. That me off too. I don't like to have dark without light, so a little bit of light. We got an email today from a very good customer of ours, over probably about a 10-year period, Tony. It's nice to see you today. He says, "Hi Brent, I purchased the full cream Mungali milk for the first time today. With milk produced by small farmers, you get distinctive tastes, and I change brands from time to time for that reason. I've not had milk so creamy and pleasurable for many years and will certainly buy it again. I remember milking cows when I was a child and it reminded me of the fresh milk with the lovely cream on top." If you have a copy of A Gondola on the Murray by Stefano de Piri, I hope I said that right. Page 73 there was a poem by Philip Hodgins that sums up my feelings about much commercial milk. It commences, "It's no good anymore. They have treated every last bucketful, so it always tastes the same, so it never separates, so it rots instead of souring. My father used to say homogenised, pasteurised, buggerised, and he was right." So anyway, this is probably really only relevant for Friday home delivery customers because it comes in fresh once a week on a Thursday. That's the label. This is actually the low fat, so it has had some of that cream skimmed off. But we also get the full cream. It is a very good milk. Now during the week, we went up to Jacob's Ladder and had a little bit of a look at their farming operation. It's a small mixed farm, certified with the ACO. We'll have quite a bit of footage. What we'll probably do for you next week is show a little bit of their egg production side of things. Absolute, true, open, free range grazing for their chooks. But meanwhile, we'll just outro with a lovely little look around their farm and the approach to it. It's a beautiful spot. What I should have said also is don't forget that Tocal's on this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll have a stall there. If you're up in the area, by all means pop into the store. It's open on Saturday, 9 till 2. That's about all I've got to say. Have a lovely week. See ya.